Bruyne is corner. Holland! Goal! It's Mo Salah! It's Mo Salah! Absolutely sensational!
And we're live. Welcome back to another deadline stream. Some of you might not have noticed, but I tweaked the intro song a little bit and it's even better now. Absolute tune. Welcome everyone to the deadline stream. Are we live? Everyone said I'm late, but I was like 30 seconds late. Am I really getting called out for being 30 seconds late? Surely not. Welcome everyone to the stream. Gameweek 27. Yeah, Teddy's here as well. He's on my lap. Looking sharp. Thank you very much. I'm heading into London later. I'm going to the Alley Pally to watch Fatboy Slim, so I'm dressed up for it. Making the effort. How's everyone doing today? Yeah, Teddy's hiding, he's a bit shy. Welcome all to the stream. 3 minutes late? Nah, the intro's 3 minutes. What do you mean? It's too long? Yeah, but we have to have enough time for people to like get in the stream and see that we're live, so I think 3 minutes is alright. I think that, I don't actually know how long the intros are on other people's streams, but I'm guessing they're similar, aren't they? Maybe longer? Anyway, welcome to the stream. We've got Cold Palm here, Mr. Mally, Class of 23, Johnny, Yarup, Dan, Alian, Ryan, Edjar, Kevin. Is that two Kevins? Did I say Kevin twice? Ryan, Kevin, Edjar, this is Dave, David, Rayan, Madsham. Welcome all to the stream. Love the intro, thank you. I've changed a few players, I changed the song a little bit. Teddy's here, it's Gameweek 27, life is good. And I mean, last week was one of the luckiest I've had all season. How did everyone get on last week, points-wise? Triple captain disaster, to be fair. Like, 7 points. Not great. I mean, I triple captain Haaland for 2 points early in the season. So, you know what? I'll take 7 in comparison. But O'Reilly ended up scoring for me. Van Dijk scored for me. So, those two got 30 points between them. So, my back three got 51 points. Just in my back three. It was 89 points all out for me. So that was a really awesome game week. It could have been more. Like Mane ended up on 11 out of 12 DEFCONs in the first game. He didn't get the assist after review for that goal against Arsenal. But yeah, really lucky week. So I'm happy with that. Up to 17k. How's everyone doing rank-wise anyway? Jamie Saka. Mate, you know what? Van Dijk got me 0 points the week before. O'Reilly's been terrible for me, but now actually O'Reilly's starting to look good again, playing as an 8. Is the music coming through? Because it's so quiet in my ear. I might have to turn it up here. Is that better? Or too loud? 88k, very nice. 37k, 148k. He went down to 599k from 490k. 38.5k. Music's good now, perfect. I'll leave it like that. 1.1 mil, 2.5k. Morning, Ash. And to Teddy as well. I think he might fall asleep in my lap here. I had him shut out of my office room, but he was like scratching at the door, so he had to come in. How we doing, Flandy? Start 2 out of Anderson, Mukiele and Wilson. I would start Wilson and probably Anderson, just chase the upside there. Glass House, thank you for the super chat. Says he's got 1 transfer and the money to go Creepy to Thiago and have a front 3 of Thiago, Ekatike, Haaland, all roll and start Senesi or Drewsbury Hall. No, I'd make that transfer, Glass House. I think that's really nice. Creepy to Thiago looks really good. Not just like, it depends if you're going to walk on in 32, but even if you're not, beyond the blank in 31, Brentford's fixtures are good, so I would do that this week personally. Flanny with the 46 months says, Oi boss, captain João Pedro, Palmer, Bruno. You're 5.3k. Smashing it, Flandy. I mean, if I had Palmer, I would captain him this week. Like, if you're not going to captain Palmer against Burnley, who've conceded more than anyone, their worst to expected goals conceded, more shots conceded than anyone, more big chances conceded. When are you if you're not going to do Palmer home to Burnley? Like, if it was Palmer away at Burnley, then it's a bit closer, but I mean, who are you guys captaining? I guess a lot of you haven't got Palmer, right? So let's put a poll up. Who is... It's hard to type with Teddy Line on my forearm. Alan Palmer, Bruno Fernandes, and other. So yeah, life is good. Last game it was excellent. I'm happy. We'll see what goes down this week. Rodgers was a bit annoying. I did bring in Rodgers and he blanked. Who did he have? He had a good fixture, didn't he? Brighton home. But the next 2 look great. He's got Leeds home, Wolves away. A couple of tough ones after that. But Rodgers is set and forget for me until the wild card. He's got West Ham home in the blank game week. So I'm happy to have him, even though he's done literally nothing. I've owned him twice this season, 6 game weeks in total. Not a single return from Rodgers in 6 games, but surely he's due. Oh yeah, João Pedro. Oh god, João Pedro is going to be an absolute rank killer this week if he does anything. And I'd be surprised if he blanks. Home to Burnley. How much did you get in your first FPL season? I actually don't know. I didn't even play my first 2 seasons out fully. Sounds like an excuse, but... Oh, maybe I did. I don't remember. 529k? And then 270k. Those are my first 2. That was 2011. Oh, that's crazy. This is my 15th season. How many years have you guys been playing? And then 2013-14, 22k. That was the Suarez season. That season is always going to be the what-if season. Because he missed, I think it was the first 6 games... Suarez was suspended for biting Ivanovic. So he was suspended for like 5 or 6 games. And he still scored, I think it was 31 goals in 33 games. But on top of that, Gerrard took the 10 league penalties they got that season. 10 penalties. And Suarez got 295 points, I think it was. 295 points after missing like 5 or 6 games over the season. So yeah, that season he was just set and forget captain, and that's literally what I did all season. Crazy, crazy season. Every time he played Norwich, he'd batter them. I think the greatest hat-trick I've ever seen was that game against Norwich. If you haven't seen it, look up the Suarez hat-trick against Norwich. I think he actually scored 4, but yeah, absolutely crazy goals. Bench Nico, Riley, Timber, or Ndai. I think I'd bench O'Reilly there just about. I've actually got a massive dilemma this week. So I've got O'Reilly, Gabriel, Van Dijk, Mukiele, Anderson and Mane. And they all look unbelievable this week. But I've got to start 3 of those 5. O'Reilly's been playing as an 8, so he's out of position midfielder. Obviously scored last week. Van Dijk got the 17 pointer. Mukiele's been really consistent. His defcons have dropped off a bit, but Xhaka's back. Anderson's the best for defcons. Like, who would you start? Would you start the same back three? Team is too good. Yeah, it's really difficult. I feel like I'm going to bench some points. And I've even got Mane. Like, Palace have got... Obviously, Gue's gone. Lacroix's picked up an injury. I think even Riyadh could be out. So it could be like Lerma centre-back with Richards or something like that. I'm not even sure how Palace are going to line up. So... But I want to save the bench boost for Double Game Week 33, basically. Your bench boost in this week. Any leaks? I don't think we'll get leaks, but I'll keep an eye on it as we near the deadline. Got a loose nail here. Let me just cut this. It's going to piss me off otherwise. Right, got it. Whoa! FPL Nap with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you very much to FPL Nap for the 5 gifted. Welcome to the 5 members. Zenon, Tuna, Arlian, Anders, and it's Wadey got one. Thank you very much for your support. Appreciate that. What did I write? Abductor. Let me change that. Adductor. Where is it? It's this one, I think. And then that one. So, what are we talking about? Double Game Week 33. So, yeah, it's still up in the air based on how the FA Cup goes, but it could be a Double Game Week 33 or something like that. That says Adductor now. That should be fixed. So it could be something like that. So I kind of want to just save the bench boost for that week. Obviously, some of the doubles aren't great. Like Arsenal would have City away, but you'd still go triple Arsenal. Like Chelsea, you'd have Man United away, Brighton home. It's okay. You'd still go triple Chelsea. You'd probably go like double Palace, even though one of the games is Liverpool away, because the other one's West Ham home. Triple Liverpool. Don't know what that'd look like. Van Dijk, Vert, Sekatike or something. You'd have to go triple City. I think it's a really potentially great double gaming, but it depends on the FA Cup results. So, my plan is to wildcard 31, bench boost in... Sorry, wildcard 32, bench boost 33, and then free hit in Game Week 34, which would be a blank game week. Baywali Justice says, Evanilson, Hill, Maguire, KDB, Guay... KDB? Guay and Bumo, bench 3. Who's KDB? Well, I know who KDB is, but who's KDB in FPL? Do you mean Dewsbury Hall? No, it can't be that. Well, it's not De Bruyne. He's not going to have De Bruyne in his team. If he's done that, I don't know how he's got De Bruyne in his team. He's playing Serie A fantasy. Oh, KDH. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, bench 3. I'll definitely start in Bumo. I would start Evanilson against West Ham. Hill versus Guay. Probably start Guay. Bro's playing FPL 2023. So yeah, I'd go Guay and Bumo, Evanilson. Oh, Hill's been so good though, hasn't he? Like, if any of you have got Hill, great pick. So cheap. He's getting more defcons than Senesi now even. Start Anderson or Mukiele. Mukiele. Oh my god. Tim! Sorry, Teddy. Tim's just gifted 50 memberships to the stream. 50 gift. Tim out of nowhere. Tim, thank you so much, mate. That is crazy. Quickly spam in chat and you might get one of the 50. Welcome to the 50 new members. You can now enjoy early access to videos, a little badge by your name, the members emojis. There's a members channel on Discord, the members mini league. Thank you very much, Tim, for that. That is crazy. Thank you, mate. Tim's rolling this week, but you've got Lacroix, haven't you, Tim? I think it makes sense. Maybe we can put Tim's team on screen. Yeah, we can. Here we go. Let's help Tim with his team. I said to him I would roll that. Would you roll that? So you'd start Anderson over Lacroix. I think I would leave Dewsbury Hall in playing home to Man United, but Mane does look good. And I said I would roll. Because if you're sitting on some players like Enzo, in his case Lacroix, in my case Rice, those are the sort of players you'd want to get out in Game Week 28 potentially. So I think that's a roll. And he's already got 2 transfers. So he'll have 3, which is great. Because yeah, like Palace defenders could be a sell after this week. You could keep Munoz. So yeah, that's Tim's team. Thank you again, Tim. FPL Nap with the 3 months as far. He says triple captain Tim. Thank you very much for the 3 months, Nap. Triple captain is active on Tim. If I hadn't wasted it on Gabriel last week, I'd have it active on Tim. Tim with the bench boost times 50. Would you transfer Rice to Rodgers? I think this week it's a little bit sideways in terms of Rice replacements. Like, I could do Rice to Dango. I'm looking at Dango, but I feel like that's a little bit sideways, and that could go either way. Like, Dango could blank home to Brighton, and Rice get something in the North London derby, and it just wouldn't surprise me. So I don't really like those moves when it feels potentially sideways. Rodgers is a little bit of an upgrade, but it's like, do you want to spend a transfer on a little upgrade? I'd probably just save a transfer in that case. You might want someone else by next week. You might want Shada, Dango, Ryan, Wirtz. I think Wirtz is better than Rodgers. Obviously I've already got Rodgers, but if I didn't, I'd be leaving it a week now and get Wirtz. I bought Rodgers last week, so I got like an extra good fixture. Not that he did anything, but that was my thinking. What's your worst ever game week? I'm actually thinking about doing a video about this. I wonder, oh, maybe I can find it. You guys will find this really interesting. Basically, I had a video idea called The Worst Game Week in FPL History. Some of you might know which game week it is, but I researched like the worst game weeks ever in terms of average points. And the 3rd worst ever was the 2019-20 season. I've actually, oh no, there's too many notes here. I've wrote so many words already on it. Like, it'd be a great article even, but I think I want to make it into a full video. In 2018-19, in Game Week 31, the average score was 26 points. That's the 3rd worst week ever. In 2016-17, in Game Week 28, the average score was 19 points. But by far the worst game week ever was Game Week 29 in the 2023-24 season. Let me find my notes. So there were only 4 fixtures on because of loads of deep cup runs, and they're all like really awful fixtures as well. It was like Burnley v Brentford, Luton versus Forest, Fulham v Spurs, and West Ham played Villa. 1.7 million used a free hit that week, which was the highest ever in a single game week. 2.5 million people captained Son. Spurs lost 3-0. Reguilon had been getting loads of assists. People free hit him in. He ended up getting a red card after 8 minutes. And the average score that week was 12 points. That was the average score, 12 points. Yeah, hiding the sound nodes it. 12 points was the average score. So, yeah, it's on the to-do list. I'm not sure exactly when I'll do that video, but some of you remember that as the Toffolo week. I went Toffolo instead of Reguilon. And Forest, to be fair, they were on for a clean sheet in like the 80th minute. And then Luton ended up scoring and he got booked. So Toffolo ended up on 1 point. But that still felt like a haul. Because that was the week where Reguilon was the alternative. I almost went Reguilon, and Reguilon got -3. Toffolo got 1 point, and that ended up 4 points gained. So that's like a player scoring 2 points who he would have gone. But the other player he went for kept a clean sheet and got 6. So that was the Toffolo week. Yeah, the average score was 12. I don't know if that's my worst ever in terms of my personal Gameweek rank, but I know that's the worst in general. What's my worst Gameweek rank this season? Let's see. Gameweek rank 7.9 million in Gameweek 2, but I don't think you can count it that early. Oh, here we go. Gameweek 18. My Gameweek rank was 9.9 million. That's my worst this season. I got 36 points that week. Oh, that is horrendous, isn't it? Yeah, that was like when Foden's form fell off. Timber didn't play. I had Timber, he didn't play. I benched Dubravka's 11 and Anderson's 5. Oh, back when I had Bar. What a player. Never played a single minute. Probably never will in the Prem. So 9.9 million is my worst Gameweek rank. That's not too bad, actually. What did you say yours was? 11.9 mil. I'm planning to roll Irish. Balewell Justice, thank you for becoming a member as well. Thanks for the support. Marty says, hi mate, I hope you're well. Munoz for Timber or roll? No, I would leave it. I don't know if you mean to sell Timber or to buy Timber, but regardless, they're both just leave it this week. Nick says, who to bench? Player back 4. He's got Ryan Munoz, Gabriel Timber, and Bumo Rogers, Enzo. So he benches DC at Odorete. No, I would leave it as is, back 3. No, that looks fine as it is. I would leave it like that, Nick. That looks spot on. I think Wilson is better than Alderete. I know it's an away game for Wilson, but I think you play Wilson away against Sunderland. So Abido says, Dango, Ryan, or roll and start Elliot Anderson. So that's a really tricky one because it's like a... Dango does look great, but what if... I think I would roll. Maybe that's a little bit too passive, but I think I would roll in your situation and just give yourself one more week to really be sure. Sharda's back now. It may or may not affect Dango's minutes. They'd probably play the opposite wings anyway, but... And then some people are speculating about Ramadan and that could affect Dango's minutes, but I'm not sure on that either, but I think I would roll. K Gatti, thank you for the super chat as well. Did I miss one? Who did I miss? Oh, random guy, sorry. 3 from Gabriel, Timber, Richards, Cash and Mukiele. Well, you definitely start Gabriel. I would start Timber, double up, and I'd go Cash, I think. Chase the upside with Cash. Mukiele's playing right back as well, so he's not getting the Defcons so much. So that's what I would do. I probably wouldn't start Richards, even though he's got Wolves home. I mean, they just conceded 3 to Burnley and lost home last game, didn't they? Thanks again, K Gatti. Mr. Oscar King says, King, should I look to remove all Chelsea assets after this game week? I've got Chalobah, Enzo, Pedro starting against Burnley. I need to keep hold moving forward. Yeah, if you can, I would look to fade them like in Game Week 28 when they've got Arsenal. If you're able to bench them, like it's not that bad to keep hold. But I'm personally selling Enzo in Game Week 28. He's gone for me next week. I'm looking at something like this in Game Week 28. So I do Enzo to Verts. I'm minus 1.6 million, so I'd have to sell Rice. I'd have 5.9 million. So I've just about got enough for Dango, who's 5.8. Or, I don't know, if Ryan like really convinces this week, I'm not ruling him out either. He's 5.5 mil. One of those two. So that's my plan with Enzo, and I think it makes sense to sell after this game. But you're in a good position to have triple Chelsea home to Burnley. Ricardo says, hi Oscar, start one of Senesi, Anderson, Munoz. I'd definitely start Munoz there. Would you say more than one should start? My team is the same as yours except Wilson instead of Mbumo. No, I agree with that. I would just start Munoz. You've got to play Munoz home to Wolves. I know the clean sheet chances might not be so great right now, but I would play Munoz and I'd play Wilson. Donaldinho, thanks for the 48 months, 2 years. He says, do I sell Madueke or wait for Saka to get injured again? I wouldn't bank on a Saka injury. I would sell him. It's possible they both play and Saka starts as a 10 again like he did against Wolves, but I wouldn't chance it. I'd be selling Madueke myself this week. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't start. I would sell Madueke. You could look at Sharda, Rogers, Dango. I would get rid. Hardik says, bench one out of Rogers, Sarr, Rice and Enzo. Out of those, I think it'd have to be Rice. You can't bench the others when they've got such good fixtures. Rogers has got Leeds home, Sarr's got Wolves home, Enzo's got Burnley home. It's got to be Rice, process of elimination. And Ricardo also said, also Noah Riley, thanks for the help this season. Noah Riley. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd still start Munoz over O'Reilly, and I'd start Wilson over O'Reilly. Chazza says, hi mate, am I crazy for captain in Semenyo over Haaland? I'm not a big fan of it, captain players that aren't on pens. For me, it's usually a pen taker. Yeah, I'd rather Haaland over Semenyo, but it's one of those, like, it wouldn't surprise me if Semenyo does well, and it could be one of those games that the wingers thrive in as opposed to Haaland. He's actually got a really bad record against Newcastle, Haaland. I think he's got 1 assist in like 7 games, but for me, I still prefer Haaland. It's not terrible though. What's the captain widget say? It's got Haaland top 5 stars, well Palmer as well 5 stars, then Bruno, then Salah, then Enzo. So hopefully he started O'Reilly last week, Ricardo. That would have been nice. That 13-pointer. Tadis, thank you very much for the super chat. Akshat says, thoughts on João Pedro captain, start Gueye or Mukiele. I mean, he's not a bad captain, João Pedro, but I don't think I would if I had him, honestly. I still think I'd rather go Haaland or Bruno. Back the captain widget. Or Palmer if I had him, obviously. Bellman, with the 4 months, he says, hi Oscar in chat, who to sell, Timber or Calafiori? I would get rid of Calafiori. Personally. He's a massive rotation risk with Nkapie, so get rid of him first. He's the priority. A1 football tournaments, Mbeumo and Mane to Thiago and Dango. That's a pretty good pair of moves. It's just a shame to lose Mbeumo. Do you have to start Mane this week? Because if you have to play Mane, then I'd do that. But if not, then who are you playing instead of Mane? Because have you not got someone else that you might want to sell in Gameweek 28, like Enzo or Rice? Potentially the better thing to do is to wait a week and then sell one of the other players as opposed to Mbeumo. For me, Mbeumo's a hold all the way to like wildcard. I'm definitely not selling Mbeumo. You'd have to like start getting benched or something, but until that point, he's definitely a hold for me. Kagati says, why are people captain Haaland with under 36 points in 9 games? He's bang out form. Cole Palmer seems the obvious pick for captain. Yeah, if I had Palmer, I would be captaining him, definitely. Bruno's not a bad shout either. I know what you mean, he's out of form, but you can make the argument both ways. Like, Newcastle have never won a league game since Bruno G joined where he didn't play. They've played 10 league games without him. They've never won one of them. And then they've got Joelinton out, Livramento, other injuries. And they had to play on Wednesday in the Champions League, whereas City have had that rest. El Sonia Lump, good noon, Oscar. Wishing you a good game week. Love you. Thank you very much for that. Who to start? Timber, Cash, and Mukiele. Probably Timber just about. And then Cash should be first choice on the bench ahead of Mukiele. Everton away might be difficult. Yeah, I agree. I still think Bruno's going to be... I think he's probably the second best. In my team anyway. Third best overall. I'd go Palmer, then Haaland, then Bruno if I was ranking them. On the captain poll, 58% Haaland, 16% Palmer. Oh, that's a lot of Palmer owners. Could be a rank killer. 9% Bruno, 17% other. Alright, fresh poll. How many chips have you got left? 4, 3, 2 or 1? Is it possible to be out of chips? Yeah, it is. I don't think anyone's going to be on 0 chips, are they? Maybe if they were doing like a monthly challenge or something. You're going João Pedro. Yeah, fair. He's a good shout as well. He's good. Still got all 4. I'm jealous of anyone that's still got all 4 because I think it's really nicely laid out for anyone that's got 4 because you've got wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34, triple captain in 36, and then just hope that Man City get a double in 36. Yeah, it could be something like this in Game Week 33, which would be a really nice week for the bench boost. It's going to be a bigger double game week in all likelihood than it was last season. Last season the double was a bit underwhelming, but it's almost certainly going to be a bigger one this season. We're very, very likely to have 4 teams doubling, so 8 teams, sorry, 4 double game week fixtures, so 8 teams doubling. Which is great. Because it looks like, depending on FA Cup results, we should be able to get a starting 11 and a bench that all double. We've not had that for a couple of years. So that's really nice. It can't be any worse than the bench boost last season. Does anyone remember how badly I did with the bench boost last year? It was a double game week and I had, I think, like 2 double game week players on the bench. I had, who else was it? I had like Burn, who had a fixture like Brighton home and he ended up scoring an own goal. Oh, and I had Wan-Bissaka. And I think he had Southampton home and he missed that game after starting like 15 in a row. Just randomly missed out and I ended up bench boosting 4 points. Still finished top 5k, but it goes to show like you can definitely get chips wrong and still do well, so that's quite reassuring. But it's a low floor. I'm trying to beat 4 points this season on the bench boost. The one earlier in the season actually went alright, even though it was very close to like spectacular. It was game week 8. I got 96 points that week. But that was when I had Mukiele on the bench. And I started Vardiol. So that was almost an all-timer bench boost, that one. But I still had Dubravka 9, Stack 2, Anderson 1. So it was alright. What was that, 11, 12 points? But if Vardiol had played that, that was so annoying. Look, he'd started 4 in a row before that. And he just randomly misses Everton there. But anyway. Can't complain with 11 or 12. How many points would you be happy with on a bench boost? Let's say in double game week 33, because I think you have to look at it separately, single and double game week. So, how many points would you want in double game week 33 if it looks something like that? What's the minimum that you would say, yeah, I'll take that? I reckon I would say like 16? 20 points minimum. Philip, thanks for the super chat. Philip said, hi Oscar, what do you think about João Pedro as a captain? I also have Fernandes, but I feel like Pedro could be decent. And I've also benched Timber over Mukiele. Do you think that's the move? I think I would just about start Timber over Mukiele. I know it was an underwhelming double game week, but Arsenal is still an elite defence. I think they kept 4 clean sheets in 5 before the double. So I would start Timber. João Pedro captain. I think if I had him, I wouldn't captain. Even if I had him. I don't dislike it though, honestly. Obviously that goal, that fixture should have a lot of goals in it. So I think João Pedro captain is great. Enzo's great. Palmer's great. I probably wouldn't if I had him, but I don't dislike it. I think I'd still go Haaland, even if I had João Pedro. But it's one of those. Like we've got several good options this week. I mean, clean sheet odds have got Arsenal ahead of Sunderland as well. If that helps guide the decision, they're 11 points ahead. So that, for me, that's enough to like go Timber over Mukiele. 40%. So they're joint second with Palace. Chelsea are top 50%. Balmahua says start Timber, O'Reilly, Anderson, or Lafay. You've got Gabriel. I would go Timber there as well, for the same reason. What the Guac says, Ekitike viable captain. I've also got Bruno and Enzo. Nah, not for me. If I was ranking captains this week, I'd go Palmer, Haaland, Bruno, and then maybe like a João Pedro and then Enzo, something like that. Probably wouldn't have Ekitike top 5. Mit's Life, he says start 1, Luis Diaz, Højlund or Kane after 103 points in Game Week 26. Oh, you got to start Kane, surely. I know it's the North London derby, but you got to start Kane. So you'd have to bench Luis Diaz and Højlund. Did well last week though, well played. Bell says, please discuss Wirtz versus Szoboszlai from Game Week 28. Wirtz has got better underlying data, and obviously Szoboszlai has been playing right back, but I think Gomez is going to be available for this game week, so we could see Szoboszlai playing more advanced again, but I still prefer Wirtz. I'm looking at either of those two in Game Week 28, and for me it's Wirtz. Yeah, he's just got better underlying data basically. David's even captain in Wirtz, he says. Wirtz Kappa's Rice tomorrow. Yeah, I prefer Wirtz personally. He's not actually done a great deal, Szoboszlai. Like in terms of goal involvements. He's done like pretty good for Defcons and that, but what's he got? 4 goals, 2 assists. Maybe that's comparable to Wirtz. Maybe it's not. Wirtz is on 4 goals, 3 assists. Fair enough. I stand corrected. Yeah, I don't know. I just prefer Wirtz. I feel like he's likely to get you on goal involvement. And I guess like some of Szoboszlai's goals have been a couple of free kicks, right? It's not a reliable source of points, direct free kicks. He has scored the second most free kicks in a Premier League season ever. So that's also pretty crazy. But yeah, I like Szoboszlai. I like Wirtz more than Szoboszlai. Mr. Oscar King says Timber, Munoz, Chalobah, Mukiele starting for me. Starting all 4. That's fine. Like they're all great. Absolutely fine. Don't mind that. Just on pens before Salah got back. Yeah, there was that as well. He was on pens while Salah was at AFCON, but now he's off pens and Salah's getting minutes again. 20 plus points. Yeah, so what are people saying for the bench boost? 15 to 20, 16. You got 9 points in yours. 20, 30 points. Mate, 30 points would be huge on a bench boost. That'd be massive. Right, what are we saying for King of the Game Week? Who's getting the most points this week? It was Van Dijk in Game Week 26 with a 17-pointer. So despite the double game week, wasn't an Arsenal player. It was Van Dijk. What are we saying this week? I'm thinking a Chelsea player. Thinking of a left field Chelsea player. Pedro Neto. Lafay. Thiago, João Pedro, Palmer. Salah. Salah would be interesting. Because you can make a case for swapping Haaland to Salah. Since Haaland blanks in 31, Salah doesn't. I could see some people doing that. Toffolo. Where is Toffolo these days? Is he in the Championship? What's Toffolo up to? Toffolo. Harry Toffolo. Oh, he's playing for Charlotte FC in MLS. Fair play. Oh, he's only 30. He's still in his prime. What a player. I'll never forget that 1-pointer. You've seen him play. Start Senesi or Anderson. I'd say Anderson just about. passed away from a Pringles overdose. Also Zaha. What, is Zaha playing there as well? What? Who was it? I saw a random like Sunday League team the other day, and it had loads of former Premier League players. Like, I think it was Papis Cisse, it was Drinkwater. Imagine coming up against that team in Sunday League. Who was it? I don't imagine it. Oh, it's not even going to be on this wiki because it's like... Does anyone remember the team? Mukiele or Wilson? I'd start Wilson. Oh, and Albrighton. Yeah, that's it. I was just like, what the hell? I saw a video of the players coming out. What is it? White... Withbershaw Vets. Is that what they're called? Withenshaw. Who have they got? Oh, they're not... yeah. Stephen Ireland. Drinkwater. I think that's... Anyway, imagine coming up against that in like a Sunday League game. You'd be like, what the hell? Right, let's keep going with the questions. Where do we get to here? Gaz said, Rice for Dango in Gameweek 27 or Roll to have free transfers for Gameweek 28. Yeah, I was looking at it as well, Gaz, because I could do the same thing, but I'm actually going to leave it a week. I think Rice to Dango could go either way. Like, it wouldn't be surprising, would it, if Rice gets something in against Spurs. But it also wouldn't be surprising if Dango scored and Rice blank. But I just don't like those ones where you're not that confident in it. So I'd rather leave it a week and reassess. Because maybe you'll want to do something else. You might want Ryan instead in 28. Or maybe you want Sharda. Maybe someone else. Maybe you want Wilson. So I'm going to leave it a week personally. A1 football tournaments. Holden and Bumo start. Mane, Mukiele, Ekdal or Stack. I would start Mukiele out of those four. And then Stack first bench, Mane second, Ekdal last. Brian says bench Evanilson or Rice. I'm leaning towards Rice. It's just been like, I don't know. I don't rate Evanilson. I feel like he's blanking so much, whereas Rice is at least consistent. Honestly, I think I'd start Rice. Even though Evanilson's got West Ham, I feel like I'd start Rice, honestly, but it's pretty close. Would you guys agree with that? Rice over Evanilson? Watkins to Thiago. Before Leeds home, I don't know. I don't think I'd do that. I'd probably do it next week. Do it next week when Thiago's got Burnley. I'd probably give Watkins one more game. I know he's like Evanilson, just blanking and blanking, but you got to give him Leeds home, surely. It feels like the wrong week to sell. Yeah, Rice for Rodgers I think is a little upgrade. It is a little bit of an upgrade, but again, that's not significant. I probably would leave it one more week, just to really be sure who you want. Because right now, every transfer is so important. Like, transfers are really important, but right now, a lot of people are building towards the blanket 31, wildcard 32. So we haven't got the luxury to buy Rodgers and then be like, actually, maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. So I'd probably just keep Rice. It's not a bad fixture, Spurs away. Spurs have got loads of players out. I was going to say it's a must-win for Arsenal, but like every game for a while has been a must-win, and they've not been getting results. Still got all 4 chips. What should I do? If I had all 4 chips, I would dead-end my team into Gameweek 31, the blank. Wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34, triple captain 36. So this is from FPL Spaceman. It's like the percentage chances of teams blanking in Gameweek 34, or at least a fixture clash. And what will likely happen is the fixture moves back into Gameweek 33 to be a double. It is possible for some of these fixtures to stay in Gameweek 34, but it's less likely, but it's possible. But yeah, basically these percentage likelihoods are roughly the chance of teams doubling in Game Week 33. So like Arsenal and Newcastle, very likely. Brighton, Chelsea, Liverpool, Palace, Burnley, City. So yeah, it depends on teams progressing in the FA Cup. And there are some really favourable draws in the FA Cup that could create a big double Game Week 33 and a big blank in 34. So that's how I can see myself playing the rest of the season. Wildcard after the blank. Free bench boost in the double and free hit in 34. And then that would be it for the season. Unknown Guy says, do I sell Rice and Rodgers or roll and sell next week? Yeah, I think I'd give it one more week. It's one of those, like, if you don't do the move and Rodgers does well, and it's like, oh, I've missed all those Rodgers points, but then you're at least sure you want to make the move. But what if Rodgers doesn't do anything again, and you see like Dango gets 1 goal, 1 assist, or Sharda scores a brace, or something else like that might make you think, oh, actually they've got better fixtures and they've got Burnley next week. I actually want them instead of Rodgers. So I think I'd give it a week. Ideal says, hi Oscar, I'm rolling this week. Start 2 up, Senesi, Timber, Anderson, Krupi or Anderson. I would go Timber and Anderson, as in Fulham's Anderson. And then I'd have Senesi and then the other Anderson, Forest Anderson, and then Krupi on the bench. Momo Sissoko says, Oscar, 2 free transfers, Evan Nilsson to Thiago. Start 1, Cash and Senesi. Yeah, I would do Evan Nilsson to Thiago this week, definitely. Start 1 out of Cash and Senesi. I would go Cash. He's got Leeds home, decent clean sheet odds, good attacking upside. Senesi doesn't seem to be getting as many Defcons as well. Hill's been getting them, so yeah, I'd make that move and I'd start Cash. Start Mukiele or Evan Nilsson. I'd start Evan Nilsson. Captain Palmer or Haaland. Palmer. Anderson or Anderson. I would play Anderson. No, I'd play Anderson. I'd play Anderson over Anderson. Yeah, start Anderson. Bench Anderson. What should I do with Lacroix? I think you got to get rid. Oscar or Andy? Andy. Hill or Ndai? Ndai. Nice Anderson tip. Subscribe for top tips. Start Timber or Hill? Timber. João Pedro or Bruno? Probably Bruno. Richards or Mukiele? Mukiele. Semenyo or Haaland? Haaland. Timber, Van Heck or Anderson? Timber. Alderete or Senesi? Probably Alderete. Bench Focal or bench FPL Mate? Bench Focal. Marty says, back of my weekly question, lol, Verbruggen or Dubravka. So Dubravka's got Chelsea away, Verbruggen has got Brentford. I would play Verbruggen. I imagine the clean sheet odds will favour Verbruggen as well. Not that they'll be great. 18% for Verbruggen, 6% for Dubravka. So yeah, definitely Verbruggen. Rice or Thiago? Thiago. Rice or Mukiele? Rice. Senesi or Wilson? Wilson. Abdullah says, Verbruggen fixtures are not great. Should I spend a transfer to change him? I've got 2 free transfers. At 6 players blank in 31, including Gw, Allison or Kelleher. I don't think I would. You've got 6 players blank him. I don't think I would spend a transfer and goal. I think we're at a point where you just don't have the luxury. I know what you mean, they're not great, but yeah, I think I'd leave it. Maybe reassess that in Game Week 29. You've got Brentford away, Forest home. I don't think that is the worst back-to-back fixtures you'll ever see. I would reassess that in 29, whether you can afford to do that. I think the next 2 are okay to keep hold. Miniani says, thoughts on Captain and Rodgers or Ekatike? It's one of those. I won't be surprised if they do well, but I think there's better captains than Rodgers and Ekitike this week. I'd rather Haaland. I'd rather Palmer, João Pedro, Bruno. All of those. Struggling with this game, says, hi Oscar, captain João Pedro or Haaland? I still think I'd rather Haaland. If I had Haaland and João Pedro, I still think I'd have it on Haaland. He's top on the captaincy widget, if any of you ever follow that or look at it. Which, out of interest, those of you that use the app or fpl.page, which pages or tools do you actually use the most? About 500,000 managers use it now, which is absolutely mind-boggling. That's a crazy number of FPL managers. Like basically twice as many people use it as subscribe to me on YouTube or follow me on Twitter. Defcon during matches, price changes, the captain widget. During games, I usually just use it for bonus points and Defcon. You can just follow along like that, and you can see who's locked in Defcon points or got save points, or you can see who's got bonus points during the game or just after. I don't actually look at bonus points during the game because it's so cursed when you see one of your defenders are on bonus and then they concede. So I don't actually look at bonus till after, but I look at Defcon during games because if you see one of your players are on like 9 out of 10, you're like, oh come on, one more for the +2 points. I don't know if you noticed, but we added a new feature called points changes. Where is it? This is the first and the only tool that currently does this, where you can see upcoming points changes in FPL after Opta's updates. So you know sometimes Opta like update the stats and then suddenly the next day points randomly change. A player can lose Defcon or gain Defcon. So we've got this new one here called points changes, and that's completely free. And it'll show you the upcoming changes. So like Rice got an extra point from the Brentford game, and that finally dropped on Wednesday after the Wolves game. Hincapi actually would have gone from 1 to 0 bonus, and Bueno would have gained a bonus point, but the game week had already closed then, so that one didn't happen. Anyway, FPL Focal in the App Store if you want to install it. The app's free, or fpl.page from your browser. Where did I get to here? So Prince Farouk says, welcome back for another deadline. Hey Oscar, he did Laquata Van Dijk. I like that. Getting rid of players that blank in 31. Next game week is Rice or Sarr to Dango. I would have rolled if Lacroix was fit. Yeah, I would have done the same if he was fit. It's just one of those. To be fair, maybe Van Dijk a week earlier than planned might have saved you some lost points. You never know. I wouldn't have been surprised if Lacroix started and Wolves score against them. So I think that's fine. And I agree with those moves next week. It's got to be one of those two out for Dango. Igor says, Gabriel, Nunes, Chalobah, Mukiele, and it fell off my chair. Enzo, Rice, who to bench? I'd say Mukiele. I think you've got the best clean sheet odds of Gabriel, Nunes, and Chalobah. Bench Mukiele, start Enzo, start Rice. Yeah. Malcolm's got him. He says he started Nunes. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I would start Nunes. I've actually got O'Reilly starting. I think we've come full circle with him. I think he's potentially a really nice pick again. Playing in midfield, out of position. I think he's potentially really nice for 4.9 mil. So I'm actually going to keep him all the way until 31 and then probably sell him at 31. Not sure who for. Could be like a Fulham or a Newcastle defender, but yeah, I'm actually keeping him. I probably will start him all the next 4 as well. Newcastle home, Leeds away, Forest home, West Ham away. Low-key looks a really nice pick. I mean, obviously Nunes is great. He's been even better than O'Reilly. Any leaks? I'll have a look later. I don't know if we'll get anything. Possibly. What's the crack, Focal? I'm doing all good. Last game week was a great one. Up to 17k. I haven't yet broken top 10k this season. I don't know if it'll happen this week or if it'll happen at all, but I'd love to get in there again. What's everyone's rank target for the season? Realistic rank targets. Where, based on where you're at right now, what's the target you've currently got set? Hutchman says, hi Oscar, Rice to Semenyo, I know about the blank. I mean, if you're using a chip in the blank or you've got loads of transfers, I don't mind it, but I think I'd keep Rice, honestly. I don't know if I'd spend a transfer buying Semenyo personally, unless you were going to use a chip in 31 or something. You're aiming for top 100k, you're aiming for top 5k, going for top 200k, you're going for 100k, currently 747k. That's definitely doable from there. It'd be a challenge, but it's definitely possible from where you're at. Considering I mean, unless you've used all your chips as well. Considering we've still got lots of chip weeks to come and lots of strategies still to go for the rest of the season, I think you're fine there. Top 10k from 130k, yeah, that's doable. You're aiming for 1,323rd, that's very specific. Currently 1.8 mil and your goal is top 500k. I think you could even go top 250k or better. But yeah, that's fair. Slur says, who should I go to from Bruno G? Charlotte, Dango, or Wilson sound nice, but I also have 11 okay other players this game. Maybe I can buy one and bench Timber. If you've got 11 other players, I think you could afford to wait a week and then decide on Sharda versus Dango. Like, if you've got a good squad, I just don't think you need to commit this week. You really don't. Especially if it means benching a decent player that could hurt you from the bench. I would leave it. I'd leave it a week. So let's say, what are the fixtures? Is there any chance of leaks today? Burnley, Leeds, Brentford, Brighton, Chelsea, Burnley. So probably not, to be fair, today. I'd be surprised. Oops, didn't mean to click that. There we go. Right. Play Mukiele or Hill? Mukiele. Kelleher or Martinez for the next 5. Next 5, let's see. Let's go projected clean sheets. Next 5. So Aston Villa 1.4. Who was it? I've forgotten the question. Martinez versus who? Was it Kelleher? I mean, they're both from 1.4 to be fair, so is Kelleher cheaper? I'd go with him if he's cheaper. Yeah, I like that more. I just don't like as well that Martinez is just randomly missing games this season. I don't know what's up with him. Like, is he just saving himself for the World Cup? Is his head not in it? Weird one. I'd probably go Kelleher though, if that was the question. Do you know about the ongoing Cricket World Cup? I don't really follow cricket, to be honest. One of my mates messaged just now though. He's saying, no, actually, no, ignore me. He plays cricket and he was going to watch the rugby after the cricket. He wasn't actually watching the cricket. But no, I don't really watch cricket, to be honest with you. Football's enough for me. Like, it's totally all-consuming football for me now, because it's like daily videos during the week, and then a Saturday stream, and then watch as many games as I can over the weekend, and then a Sunday transfer plans video. So it's just like football's my life now. It's just all football. Is anyone else like that, where football is like become your life? And I guess for most people, maybe not. You wouldn't go as far as to say it's your life, but like every weekend, it's just something you can really look forward to. And I always feel that way. It felt like so long waiting for the Double Gameweek 26 to finish. Sorry, I missed a question above there. I missed a few. Quasar said, play Rurfs over Raya. I don't trust the Arsenal defence. I would rather trust Raya still, personally. Better clean sheet odds. I would go with the bookies. Football's a big part of my life. Same here. Thoughts on Ramadan affecting Dango? I don't really know about the whole Ramadan thing. Like, I looked into it a few years ago and it's never affected Salah and his output. I don't know about other players. I guess everyone's different. Like, there's going to be early subs and stuff like that, I'm sure. But I'm personally not really giving it much thought in terms of how it might affect players. Like, obviously, if a manager specifically mentions it, or you know, let's say this game, is it Ramadan? Sorry, I'm really naive for this stuff. Will it be Ramadan this game week when Dango plays? Because if say Dango comes off at 60 minutes, then that's a red flag. That's an earlier sub than what he's been getting the last couple of games. So maybe then I would reconsider. But right now we just don't have that information. In Ramadan they may be physically weaker but mentally and spiritually stronger. It's for a month. Yeah, but what I meant was, has it started already? I know how long it... Yeah, I know it's a month. I mean, has it started? Yeah, so it has started. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'll definitely be monitoring, like, his minutes. Because maybe that is something to be worried about if he comes off super early. I think the last couple of games before that, he's been playing, like, 80 plus, 90 minutes. Oh, since last Thursday. Fair enough. C-Max says, I wildcarded early. Should my aim still be to ditch Gameweek 31 blankers? I'm currently sitting with Haaland, Rice, Gabriel, Munoz, or do I roll more and use my bench? Yeah, if I was in your situation, I would still work towards... You have to get the balance right, because you want to ditch them, but you also want the right players after, because you've wildcarded already. Like, for example, I'm probably going to sell Haaland in 31 and then wildcard him back in 32, but I wouldn't do that if I'd already wildcarded. And I think you're better off free hitting in 34, not in 31. So, yeah, in your situation, you do still get rid of 31 blankers, but you know to just get the balance right, basically. Like Haaland I'd keep, Gabriel I'd keep, Munoz and Rice I'd move on in the next few weeks. But I think Rice and Munoz are okay for this week, C-Mac. Maybe in 28 you look at starting to shift those on. And then you bench boost 33 if you still got that, and free hit in 34. I just think that the double in 33 has got potential to be so good that it's worth attacking, and then you free hit in 34 straight after it. That's why I personally don't like free hit 31 at all. Because like it's very possible, very achievable to play through 31 without a chip. Like, for example, if I go to Plan FPL. So, let me just get this to fit on the screen. Is that right like that? So let's say I roll this week. Gameweek 28. I do, yeah, Dango inverts in. I think I was already playing around with this the other day. So that would be Rice to Dango. Enzo to Verts. Gameweek 29 I could roll there. So that's a roll. No worries, C-Mac. Thank you, mate. That's a roll. Forget the starting 11. It doesn't matter. I can figure that out later. So that's 29. 30. I could roll again. That looks fine for Gameweek 30 as well. Nothing wrong with that. Even the bench is alright. Again, I'll figure out the starting 11. And then 31. I'd have 3 free transfers. Gabriel, Haaland, Raya, Blankin. So I'd start Dubravka. Start Anderson. So I've already got 10 players there with 3 transfers. So I'll probably end up selling Haaland for someone like a Watkins or, I don't know, Jimenez. And maybe do like O'Reilly to Chow. And then I've got Mukiele for depth on the bench. So like right there, to me, that looks fine for 31. That looks perfectly fine to me in 31 without needing to use a chip. And I've been saying it in content the last few weeks, like counting up how many players you've got blank in 31 and how you might sell those gradually over the next few weeks to make sure you don't get to 31 and you're in trouble and you might have to use a chip. You're going to lose a lot of value if you sell Haaland. I've got 2 things to say to that. Number 1, points over team value. I've spent 27 game weeks building up team value, so I'll happily sacrifice 0.3 million if it potentially gets me a Watkins goal or something like that. And yeah, secondly, it's only 0.3 million, I think, which actually isn't that much, really. That's not significant enough for me to be like, I'd rather just keep the money. Points over team value all day. So I'll happily sell Haaland in 31. I've got no issue with that. So yeah, something like that in 31 looks fine. And that's using 2 of 3. So I'll have a transfer spare to take into the wild card. Or maybe something else will go wrong. I'll have to use a move. So that's kind of where I'm at with chip strategy and why I'm definitely not using mine in 31. Abdullah says bench 2 out of O'Reilly, Timber, Alderete and Dye and Anderson. I would bench probably Anderson. And who would the other one be? And Dye's got Man United home. I'd probably bench Alderete and start and Dye. He's got a home fixture. He's on pens. Play and Dye. Bench Alderete and bench Anderson. Slap It for Retail says Lefay to Dango. Birthday punt. And you're at the game. Or roll and Mukiele with 5 at the back. I remember last time I got a question like this and they were at the game and they were like, should I do this move? And I said, why not? It's a good move. You're at the game. Imagine they score. And I remember that, I can't remember who it was, but then at that game, that player ended up like scoring a brace. I probably wouldn't do it personally, but it's one of those, like, if you're at the game, it does add to the excitement. But personally, I probably wouldn't do that. I would just play Mukiele. Like, Mukiele's perfectly fine this week. Nothing wrong with playing Mukiele. So if it was me, I wouldn't. But that's probably a boring answer. I think a lot of people would say, you're at the game, do it. Benny says, Verbruggen, Timber, Van Dijk, Gabriel, Mukiele, Semenyo, Enzo, Fernandez. So is that Bruno? Rice, Haaland, Evan Nilsson. And your bench is Dubravka, Anderson, Chow and Gu. 2 free transfers, 2.3 mil on the bank. Do you roll? So is that a 4-4-2? So I would do Evan Nilsson to Thiago if I were you. And keep the other transfer rolled. Yeah, I'll do that, Benny. Evan Nilsson to Thiago looks nice. You're sensing a Mukiele red incoming. Mate, if that happens, you've got a good 6th sense. I've got him on the bench, so I wouldn't mind either, but I don't think that's going to happen. Labrie did say he's off long throws because he's got a hand injury, so maybe that reduces his appeal very slightly, but I think he's still such a good pick. Obviously, he's going right back as well, so less DEFCONs recently. I don't think he's at DEFCON for a few games now. But he was getting assists, so it didn't really matter. Where's his DEFCONs? Last few games are 8, 7, 3 and 4 DEFCONs, so yeah, no DEFCONs for the last 4 games. Scout selection. How many players have you guys got? The team is Donnarumma, Gabriel, Munoz, Mukiele, Palmer captain, Bruno, Semenyo, Rogers, Ekatike, Jean Pedro and Haaland. Why did I say Haaland? Thiago, not Haaland. So I've got Gabriel. I don't even have Mukiele. I can't count him. Bruno, Rogers. I just got 4 this week. Oh yeah, some exciting news for those of you that use the app or my website. We're going to add our own scout selection like this. So that'll appear automatically on the website every game week. As soon as the deadline passes, the team of the week for the next week will go up. So you'll also have that straight away. And it's going to be based on FPL review projections, the premium model. So that'll automatically update itself during the week based on whatever the best possible team is for next game week, the optimal team. So that could be quite an interesting, useful thing for you guys to look at as well. So that's in the works. I think it'll still take a couple of weeks or so until it's ready, but slowly getting there. I've been doing all the kits actually. Check this out. Maybe if I go like this. How should I do this? Like that? Yeah. And I've also done home and away kits, so you'll have the option to toggle the kits. See if this works. So it'll look like that basically. So you've got Arsenal there, the other Arsenal away. So you can toggle. So when a team's got an away fixture, you can see the away kits, but it's optional. And we've put like FPL.page as the sponsor on the front of them all. So yeah, I've done that for all 20 teams. So 40 kits are done, and it's going to be my own like scout selection, completely free on FPL.page. So that's in the works. So that'd be cool. Always adding new things. And eventually, we'll add a proper live rank thing as well. So we'll use the same kits for that. But yeah, that's where we're at. Getting there. Tom's team. Tom's rolling this week. I might be able to show you his team if you missed it. And he's on like 3 free transfers. Honestly, like I've learned so much just watching him and how he talks and figures out his team every week. Like, he's really good at kind of making the minimal amount of... It sounds so obvious, but like he's really good at making the minimal amount of transfers and shaving off any unnecessary moves. Like, early in the season, I went to... what was it I did? I bought Ekatike, and it cost me 2 transfers to buy Ekatike. And at the time, he was like, I'm not interested at all. Even though Ekatike was on fire at the time, he was like, I'm not interested, I'll just go Verts. This is when Verts was like not doing much. And his explanation made sense. It was like, it's another 2 moves to go Ekatike back to a mid. But at the time, it felt like he needed to have Ekatike, and he's just got like that calmness about the transfers he makes. And it basically affords him to get in this position where he's constantly sitting on like 4 transfers. It feels like every week he's like, he talks for 10-15 minutes about his team and he's rolling. Because he's just always like, strips it back and just makes only really necessary moves. The Glenn said, what did that say? FPL is a simple game. Content creators make it complicated by overthinking everything. But yeah, maybe that's true. I guess like when there's so many content creators as well, it can actually confuse your thinking because you'll get different opinions from different people. Like people are asking me this week, what about Rice to Dango? And my answer is no, because I'm not doing that move myself. But then you might ask someone else and they'll say, yeah, that's worth it. That move saved my season. So yeah, I've definitely learned a lot just watching him. Well, I edit the videos obviously every week, so I go through the entire thing every week. So I'm definitely like soaking up his knowledge. His rank history is absolutely insane. Like his average career rank is 4.9k. Imagine having an average career rank in the top 5k. But the Glenn also says, but we do love the creators because it adds much more entertainment to a season. That's the thing. Like I think FPL wouldn't be as exciting if you'd had no one that was passionate and making videos about it. It would just be a thing that you do on the side. But like the fact that you're watching the stream right now means you're probably fairly engaged with FPL and you get enjoyment out of watching content revolving around the next week and strategy and all these things. But yeah, I know what you mean. Tom's got some incredible patience and planning skills. Yeah, agree with that. Who are your guys' favourite creators? Who do you guys watch on a regular basis? How many creators is too much to follow? There's so many good channels. Like we're absolutely sport for choice. Like you've got Andy, Ross, Harry, Dan, Fran. Then you've got like great podcasts, The Wire, Black Box, Above Average, Planet FPL, FPL Joe. Yeah, he's great. You only watch me. Focal. You only watch Andy and Focal. This guy called FPL Focal. Never heard of him. FPL Wire is great. Yeah, I watched their team selection videos as well. The FPL Wire. Brilliant podcast. The Golden Trio, Andy, Focal and Harry. Oh, poor Ross. FPL Fran is the GOAT. FPL Nightmare is great. He makes really good videos. Like, there's a lack of real life videos. I've thought about doing more FPL walk videos, like the one I did with Harry and Ross, but like solo. But I just think it's better and easier to make transfer plans videos, and I don't know where else they'd go. It'd have to be like a Sunday video, but I think the transfer plans videos are better as they are. So I just don't have any room to add a real life video. You miss Ross doing FPL therapy. Mate, the two of them, Ross and Harry, have been trying to convince me to join them for a podcast of 3 of us. It's just like a spare time thing. I think it's a great idea, but it's just a spare time thing to commit to doing that every week on top of everything else we got going on. Yeah, FPL Gallagher's great. Stevens, he's so sound. I've met him a couple of times. He's lovely. Really nice guy, really down to earth. How are we doing, Yazan? Is there any more double game weeks coming up? Yeah, 33. We don't know what it's going to look like yet. These are the percentage chances of fixtures clashing in 34. So that would mean a blank game week in 34 and potentially move back into 33. So right now, the likeliest double game week 33, but it really could change, is that. And that'd be the Dublin 33. 4 double game week fixtures, 8 teams doubling. Right, I think I've missed a few questions. 13 Killing says, hi Oscar, can you help with this please? Raya, Gabriel, Chalobah, O'Reilly, Van Anderson and Guy Dorgu on the bench, 1 free transfer. Looks like a very straightforward role to me. That's a great team. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. That's a role for sure. Easy role. Lovely team. You might want to use a couple transfers in 28 to sell Enzo, maybe Chalobah, maybe you want to sell Bryce, but definitely a role this week. You're going to need those moves. Pat says 2 free transfers, roll, or should I bring in Thiago and Lefay for Rice and Gu? Is Thiago essential or just roll and have 3 next week? I think I'd roll there if I were you. Give it another week. 2 transfers to swap Rice to Thiago. I don't know if it's worth 2 right now. I'd probably leave it. Maybe get Thiago in next week one way or another. Yeah, I would leave it. Roll to 3. How many chips have you got left? So 30% have got all 4 still. 52% have got 3. 14% have got 2 chips left. 4% have got 1 chip left. Sam says, hi Oscar, who should I start, Timber or Hill? I would go Timber over Hill personally. Better clean sheet odds. Much better expected goal involvement. Hill's been great for DEFCONs to be fair, but West Ham away, I think they concede to be honest, Bournemouth. I would start Timber for sure. Captain João Pedro or Haaland? I think I'd still go Haaland, Kano, even if I had João Pedro. Any Aston Villa team leagues? I doubt it. I'll keep an eye as we near the deadline, but I doubt it. I'd be surprised. We've got about 2,000 watching, so thank you all for being here. Do hit subscribe below the stream if you're enjoying the stream. Thank you for tuning in. We'll keep going. How long we got? About 40 minutes till deadline. I'm looking forward to today. Some good fixtures on. I'm going into London later. Going to watch Fatboy Slim at the Ali Pally, and then head out into London with mates afterwards. I'll still try and get a Transfer Plans video done tomorrow, but we'll see how I feel when I wake up. Yeah, I think it's alright to start Mane if you're in a pinch. I've actually got him last on my bench, so I prefer Mukiele and Anderson, but I don't know if you've got the same bench. Mukiele or Hill? Mukiele. Rice or Verts? Verts. Is Ryan likely to get consistent points? Well, I mean, he started very well, but he wasn't performing as consistently in the Brazilian league before he came, so I'd expect some slowdown, but maybe not. We'll see. The fixtures are pretty good for now, aren't they? So I think it's a nice pick. I might buy him in 28, but my plan is to roll this week. FPL Review's got Timber at 75 minutes. What are your thoughts on his minutes? Yeah, I think a start and an early sub is definitely possible, but not necessarily a bad thing, is it, with defenders, if it locks in the clean sheet. Some have been speculating about a White start, but I just don't know if I could see it in a North London derby. It's not impossible. It's not out of the question, but it's a huge game. It always is a huge game. It's even bigger now. The gap is now... Is it 1 point if City win the game in hand? I think it'd be 1 point 1 point gap. I think my girlfriend is cheating on me with the postman. What should I do, Focal? I don't even know what to say to that one. Well, it's not FPL related, but so if it's not FPL, like I'm not good with advice. I think you should confront her. I think you should say to her, "Are you cheating on me with the postman?" 2-point gap. Yeah, okay. So it's basically if City win all their remaining games, they win the league. If Arsenal win all theirs, they win the league. Bobby says sounds familiar. Third Sue incoming. What? Wait, he says, what am I listening to? Send a postcard. Yeah, send a postcard. Send a postcard to your own address. Pretend it's from him and see what he says when he delivers it. Just keep an eye on that. Get a Ring doorbell set up. Postmen always deliver. Oh dear. Right. Fahim says start Richards and Munoz, or should I bench one for Van Dijk / Wilson? I would start Munoz, and I would start. You got to start Wilson. I think you start Munoz and Wilson. Postman Pat innocent, I tell you. Postman delivering more than mail. Alright, David says everyone join the Discord chat. Oh yeah, if anyone's not in the Discord, let me get the link. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I'll put the link in the chat. It's free. There's over 13,000 members, FPL managers on the FPL Focal Discord. So do get involved, join us. And if you are a member or you just got gifted one, if you log into your YouTube account and settings, then you'll automatically get access to the members channels. So that's the link if you want to join. Wadey says do the weekly predictions as well. Yeah, we've got a couple of mini games in channels as well. Wadey hosts one called Predictions, where you have to predict the results of 3 games. And if you get it right, then you win the role, a coloured username. And there's also one, King of the Gameweek, which I host every week there. Like what we do in the streams, to be fair, but I do a little graphic for it, and you have to pick a player. You can't pick one that's been picked before you. So yeah, and there's loads of FPL channels in there. Vidat says start Kelleher or Petrovic. I would go Kelleher with the home fixture. Frankfurt says Timber, Hill. I've been to Frankfurt loads of times. Anyway, Timber, Hill, Anderson, Dewsbury Hall. Please, mate, could you pick 2 out of these 4 to start? Really confused. I would start Timber. And I would start... I think you got to start Hill on current form, but I think Bournemouth probably concede. Now, I think Anderson is the boring but sensible choice. Yeah, Anderson and Timber. Bench Hill, bench Dewsbury Hall. I went to the World Cup as well in Germany in, was it 2006? And the most random thing ever happened. We were like walking around the stadium trying to find the entrance, and a random door swang open, and we didn't think anything of it. And then Prince William walks out. We were like, what the hell? Hello. So we were chatting to him for a bit before the game. Oh god, I just remember. You know when you remember something cringe that you say, and then like it comes back to you later. He said, so he says to me, what do you think the score's going to be? And I thought he said something like, how's school going? And then I was like, oh yeah, pretty good. I got my GCSEs coming up, but I really hope that I'm going to get A's. And I started going off about school. And then he was like, no, what do you think the score's going to be? And I was like, 2-0 England. And I felt the world swallow me up. Bottled it. Luna says my hairline's receding. Any advice? What are these questions today? My hairline's receding. I mean, mine is as well. You could either shave it, you could get a hair transplant, or you could take something that will help with it, like finasteride, minoxidil. You got like 4 or 5 options there. Yeah, I know, it was so bad. But it was cool to meet him. That was great. Royal cringe. Yeah. RSSA says, who are the best defenders to buy under 5.5 million? Under 5.5. Anderson would be our number one, I think. Or a loss. Yeah, you could go to Turkey. You could go. Anderson, I think, is good. Who else? Hill, probably Anderson and Hill. I mean, they're way under 5.5, but I think they're among the best right now. Shave it off, yeah. You could just get a hair transplant or shave it. Those are your options. What's your move? I'm rolling this week. I'm rolling. And then I'll make 2 transfers in Gameweek 28. That's the plan. Start Wilson or Lafay. Wilson, Evan Nilsson or Lafay. Evan Nilsson. Am I in the right stream? I came here for FPL advice. Instead, I'm seeing postmen and hair transplants. Sometimes the streams go a bit off the rails, but we do eventually find our way back. Who's the most transfer player this week? That's FPL related. It is João Pedro. Oh my god, it's the 3 rank killers, literally top 3. João Pedro, 440k, then Palmer, then Semenyo. Thiago, Van Dijk, Hill, Rogers, Soboslai, Ekatike. And most sold. Bruno G, fair enough. Bryce, Kukurea, Haaland, Enzo, Wilson, Gyökeres, Timber, Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, I mean, most of those are fair enough. Not sure about Haaland out, but maybe. Maybe. He really wants to do Ekatike to João Pedro for 1 week. Really in need of points. I just wouldn't do it personally. It's one of those, like, for 1 week, and then you're going to have to sell him. And then what if you need to spend transfers on something else? Then it's a -4. It could just easily end up costing you points, and you could miss out on other better moves. Why is Rice getting sold? Good question. I guess like people just bought him for the double. Must be that, right? They're just people picking him up for the double and then they're done with him. But I mean, he's the top scorer in, well, actually second. I think Hincapié ended up top, but he got 14 points in the double, which is respectable. Average of 7 a game. That's perfectly good for what he costs. Bench 1 out of Richards or Alderete. Honestly, probably Richards on current form, Lequire injury and so on. I'd start Alderete. Selling Rice to Thiago. I mean, that's fair enough, I suppose, yeah. Start Raya or Kelleher. Raya. These are the clean sheet odds and projected goals. If anyone's got like a 50-50 on some keepers or defenders. Anderson or Mukiele. That one is really 50-50. Like Sunderland 29%, Fulham 28%. Anderson's playing centre-back, so he's got the DEFCON potential. Mukiele not so much. Since it's the home fixture, I'd say Mukiele just about edges it. I've got him ahead of Anderson on the bench. Flandy says, don't forget to like the stream if you enjoy the content. Thank you, Flandy. And also subscribe, don't forget that. Palmer 1 week punt. Nah, not for me. Bruno cap, yeah, fair enough. Let's do a captain poll. Whoa, a bit laggy there. There we go. Poll is up. Get your votes in. What transfers has everyone made this week, if any? And that's the bottom of the odds there. So Burnley bottom, Newcastle, Spurs, Leeds, Forest. In terms of projected goal involvement, yes, Teddy, you coming up? Come on then, jump. There we go. He just jumped off on the chair. First ever Focal stream watched. You've picked the wrong week. It's a bit of a train wreck, this one. But Teddy's here, so that's good. Haaland 1.04 projected goal involvement. Cherky second. The odds assume the player starts. Oh, Bellman with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you very much, Bellman. Appreciate you. Thanks for that. Thanks for the 5 gifted. Welcome to the 5 new members. Mr. Lowy, Cameron, Rob, Manish and Faisal. So, yeah, where's Bruno? 0.62. Palmer's on... yeah, there's no assist data available yet for Palmer. So sometimes the bookies haven't got that. And these are the bookies' odds. Like if we go just pure goal scorer, Palmer second, then Thiago, João Pedro fourth. 0.91 projected goals. That seems crazy for Haaland. That's really high, no? Like he's miles ahead of the rest there. But obviously it's mids versus forwards is a different conversation. Like Palmer's got the assist potential, clean sheet point, extra point per goal. I would captain Palmer if I had him still. Yeah, I would have thought so as well, Luke. So I don't know. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just update it late. It's from SpreadX, so it's also reliant on one particular site, not, you know, multiple. Anyway. Oh, Rogers went up last night. Bruno. Haaland went down last night. That's another reason I don't actually mind selling Haaland in 31, because I'm not going to lose that much. He'll go down again in 31, if not before. Oscar's looking like a Bond villain with Teddy on his lap. I've been expecting you. I wasn't very threatening how I said that. I've been expecting you. You're rolling. So what were the transfers everyone's making? We'll check. Yeah, we might not even start. The odds assume they start. You're rolling. Nice. Madueke or Maguire? Oh, God. Does Madueke definitely start? Does Maguire keep a clean sheet? Probably chance it of Madueke and start him again. There's no way Haaland's benched. No one would know that the day before the game, so I wouldn't listen to any rumours on that. Pep won't have decided the team this early. Rasmus says bench 2 out of Van Dijk, Rice, Alderete and Hill. I would start the first 2 and bench the latter 2. Start Van Dijk, start Rice, bench Alderete and bench Hill. Alderete. Mate says Cunha to Mbumo / Verts this week or next game week plus Enzo out. Probably leave it a week and then do it. Verts has got a better fixture next week. I like Verts more than Mbumo next week. I would leave it next week and yeah, sell Enzo as well. Boxer Meet Canvas, what a tune, mate. That's so funny if you actually know the song. It's like a completely unknown song, but because we always play it in the streams, people know it. It's got 1,297 plays on Spotify. Right. Rob says he's trying to decide between bringing in Rogers or Semenyo. Semenyo, an absolute rank killer in my mini league at the moment, but Rogers has got good numbers, good fixtures, no blank of 31. I keep flip-flopping. What are your thoughts? Well, I prefer Rogers. I literally bought him last week for the same reason. Like I know Semenyo's been really good and he's on form, but the blank of 31 is a factor. Unless you're planning to use a chip or if you've got loads of transfers to get him in and sell him again. So I prefer Rogers. There's absolutely no way I'm buying any players that blank of 31. It's just one of those. It's the logical thing to do, but sometimes it doesn't play out that way. But imagine you buy Semenyo and then he blanks a couple of times and you have to take a -4 in 31. You could end up even worse off. You hate Rogers. So I would rather Rogers. To be honest, Rob. Enshock says he's capping João Pedro and he's not changing with about 10 exclamation marks. I felt that one. I felt that. Fair enough. I hope. Do I hope it goes well? Probably don't, to be fair, because he's a rank killer. I'll say it for you. I hope it goes well for you. I hope it goes well. But I wouldn't mind if he doesn't do anything. But I hope he does well for you. Lakshay says, should I buy Palmer and captain this game? You're going to remove Enzo. I've got the funds to downgrade one Palace defender. I've got Pedro also. Nah, I don't think Palmer's worth buying for 1 week personally. Especially if you're selling Enzo. Not for me personally. I wouldn't do that anyway. He's got Arsenal. You're just going to want to sell him, really, or he leaves you in an awkward spot having to start him against Arsenal in a really tough game. Thoughts on triple captain Palmer? Again, I'd save it. There's a double game week 33. City could have a really good double in 36 as well, so I would save it. If you've got the triple captain, you can be pleased they didn't use it on Gabriel last week, like a lot of us did. 7 was alright, but it's got a lot more potential than that. If anyone used it on Rice, fair play. Rice triple captain was great, 42 points. I would have taken that all day. Yeah, especially selling Enzo. Like, I wouldn't sell Enzo. Danny says wildcard 24, 5 free transfers. Petrovich, Chalobah, Gabriel Munoz, Bruno Rodgers, and you've got bench of Dubravka, Timber, Mukiele, and Timber. You said Timber twice. Did you mean Tim? Who's the other one? But yeah, that looks great. I would roll for sure. Oh wait, you're on 5. Who's the other player? Who did you mean instead, Danny? Put it in chat. Who did you mean? Because you said Timber twice. Maybe there's a transfer there you can make. Maybe you could sell Mukiele. Don't touch the midfield. Don't touch the strikers. You meant... I think you meant a forward like Mane or Gw, didn't you? I also don't know how much you've got in the bank. That doesn't help either. I think you have to sell Mukiele. Who do you go to though? Mukiele to Anderson. That's the one. Do that. Boom. Done. Abdullah says captain João Pedro or Bruno. Between those two, I'd lean towards Bruno, honestly. Bruno captain, but João Pedro is nice as well, but I would say Bruno. Novus, thanks for the 40 months. He says, some folks say Haaland didn't join the team. Any news? I think there's trolls. Someone said he's not gone to St James's Park, but they're just winding you up because he's playing home, so of course he wouldn't be there. Yeah, no one knows anything this early. Pep won't have even picked the team yet. There's no leaks, I've just looked, so don't worry about it. Ignore it. Ignore the trolls if anyone's saying that on Twitter. Not true. Olo, thanks for the 2 months. He says, would you buy Senesi or Hill for Lacroix? I would, unless you don't have Anderson. I'd say Anderson's even better. If you haven't got Anderson, Olo, then go for him. Otherwise, it also depends if you need the money. Like, Senesi is safe. I think Hill's probably safe as well. But yeah, depends if you need the if you need to make that move this week to start them. If you don't, then I would leave it. But Anderson is better than those two, if that makes sense. Freystein says start one out of Alderete, Anderson, Joachim Anderson, Elliot Anderson, and Krupi. I would start Alderete just about with the home fixture and DEFCON potential. Alderete, I'd say Joachim Anderson first bench, then Elliot Anderson, then Krupi. Jay says, hey bud, I can't decide whether to start O'Reilly and Mukiele. What are your plans in the next few weeks ahead of the blank? Are you getting rid of City? Yeah, I've had the same dilemma, Jay. I've actually got O'Reilly starting. It's super close, but he's got better clean sheet odds. He's playing out of position. He did score last week, but his attacking data actually hasn't been that great, but he's probably more upside, but it's really, really close. Like, I think Joachim Anderson's also nice. I'm going to keep him for now, and I'll sell him in terms of the next few weeks. It'll be probably Rice to Dango, Enzo to Wirtz in Game Week 28, and then I'll probably roll to 31 and do like O'Reilly to a Newcastle defender, something like that. Newcastle have got Sunderland home in 31, or maybe I could go double Fulham defence, home to Burnley, something like that. Is this your final team? Yeah, I'm going to roll, so this would be the team. Start one out of Ekatike, Enzo, and Alderete. Start one? It's got to be Enzo home to Burnley. Simon says, final dilemma. Do I start Cherky, who's a bench risk, or Timber, triple Arsenal defence, or Anderson? But I've also got Mukiele in starting 11. Do you mean, I think you mean the other Anderson, without the O, with the E. I would start Timber and go triple defence. I personally wouldn't risk Cherky. Yeah, just play Timber. It is what it is. If you've gone triple defence, like, you've made your bed and you just got to commit to it. Some weeks, if they do concede, it's brutal, but other weeks, you're well on your way for a green arrow when they keep the clean sheets. So, go for Timber. Verts or Semenyo? Verts. Sell Timber for Kanate? Nah, I probably wouldn't do that. You not got Van Dijk, Tom? Go Van Dijk. I think he's 0.5 mil cheaper than Timber, so you can definitely afford. Timber look leggy though, rotation risk. Yeah, some people are saying that. I don't think it's impossible for him not to start, but I just don't think you chance it. I'm not sure if Arteta would chance it either. It's like such a big game, but it is possible. It's yeah, I'd say 25% chance. It is possible, but if I had him, I'd be playing him. It's just one of those. They've got the best or second best clean sheet odds, so you'd be kicking yourself if he starts and he comes away with something. Samuel Chapman says start Alderete or Madueke. I'd probably go Alderete, honestly, just in case Saka starts in right wing. And he could come off earlier, I suppose, Madueke, if he does start. I'd play the minutes there. Go Alderete. Koa says start Mukiele or Keane and Zubimendi or Raul J. Jimenez. So I'd play Mukiele and I'd play Jimenez. Mukiele and Jimenez. I know it's one against the other, but it just makes sense to me to start both. No leaks at the moment. I'll keep checking it. We've got about 15 mins. James says looking to wildcard after 31. He's got 3 free transfers. He's sitting at 50k as well, and he's not sure how to capitalise. He's got Raya, Gabriel, Riley, Tarks, Anderson, Mukiele, Rice and Bumo, Bruno, Anderson, Enzo, Haaland, Ekatike, Gw. Okay, so I would, if I were you, I would roll, and I would play Gabriel, O'Reilly, and Anderson. So 3-5-2. Rice and Bumo, Bruno, Anderson, Enzo. I think I'd actually start Mukiele ahead of Elliot Anderson. So 4-4-2. And then basically you'll be in a good position, James, in terms of how to capitalise. You'll have 4 transfers in 28. I think one of those has got to be Gw to Thiago. And that could be via selling Enzo and Rice. Maybe Tarkowski as well. You know, like Tarkowski to Hill, Rice to Dango. It could be like Enzo to Verts, Gw to Thiago. I'm not sure if you can afford that exactly, but you get the idea. Maybe it'll have to be like a Sharda instead of Verts. But I think, yeah, rolling is what I'd definitely do if I were you. You're in a good position. Tyro says play 2, Hill, Senesi, Timber and Anderson. You've got Ryan Gabriel. I would play, I think it'd be Timber and Anderson. I don't know, I just feel like Bournemouth conceded away at West Ham. Like, West Ham are playing better recently and Bournemouth is shocking in away games compared to home. So I think I actually wouldn't start either Bournemouth defender. So I'd go Timber Anderson. Just go with the triple defence. Sahil says drastic differential needed. Captain Enzo or João Pedro. If you want the differential, neither of them are differentials really, but maybe Bruno would be the one you go against Haaland with. I guess you don't have Palmer. If you really wanted to go with either of those two, I would go João Pedro over Enzo. It's a slippery slope though if you're just taking differentials for the sake of it, because it can just leave you worse off. That's the thing. You can be making on paper worse decisions, trying to get more upside, and you end up even worse off. So, but yeah, João Pedro if you want to go either of those. Tom's team. maybe I can just do it this way. I've got a little system going where he puts this screenshot on Drive and then I use that to create the video. So if I go here, download that. And I'll show you his team. I only know as of before he makes the video, which will be Thursday, but in this case he was rolling anyway, so this is Tom's team. Raya, Timber, Gabriel, Van Dijk, Munoz, Zoboslai, Enzo, Bruno, and Bumo, Thiago and Haaland. So he's rolling to 4 transfers. He's got Ndai on the bench, Rodon, Marshall. And that is Tom's plan. Roll into 4 transfers. So captain poll, 58% Haaland, 14% Palmer, 13% Bruno, 15% other. Start Hill or Mukiele, Timber or Anderson, Timber. Krupi, Mukiele or Gravenberch to start, Mukiele. Semenyo or Rice. What is this, who to start? I'd start Semenyo. I wouldn't buy Semenyo though. Unless you're using a chip in 31, but I'd rather not. The WDR says, hey Oscar, should I get Dango for Ndai? This one's really close. Like, Ndai's got home fixture, he's on pens. Do you commit to Dango this week, or do you leave it a week and then decide if you want like a Sharda or someone else? I think I'd leave it one more week if I were you, and then just be absolutely sure. Because what if you end up thinking, oh, I should have gone Sharda because he scores a brace on his game back this game week, or I don't know, maybe Ryan makes it 4 returns in 4 games, and you're like, oh, I should have just gone with him and waited a week. So I think it's a good roll week basically, like to buy yourself another week of information and really be sure about which way you want to commit for the 4 game weeks after this week, leading into blank game week 31. So I think it's a really solid roll week, and I'm guessing a lot of people are doing that. Let's do a poll on that. How many transfers are you making or rolling? Let's gauge it. Rolling 1, 2, 3 plus. Poll is up. Get your votes in. Nova says start Krupi or Timber. I've got Gabriel, Cash and Munoz. I would start Timber definitely there. Jude says Bowen, Rogers, Thiago or Enzo as a differential captain. I don't like any of those really as differential captains. The captain widget has got Palmer top 5 stars, Haaland also 5 actually, then Bruno, then Salah, then Enzo. So none of those are in the top 5. Start Mukiele, Anderson or Hill. You're also playing Wilson. Yeah, I mean, when it's a 50-50 like that, Cameron, you could just play Anderson. Because I think Mukiele and Anderson are genuinely 50-50. The clean sheet odds are like the same. So in those scenarios where it is actually 50-50, you could just chase the upside, which would be to play Anderson. Start Anderson, Nottingham Forest on Mukiele. Mukiele or Chow. Mukiele. Chow's got Man City away, so definitely Mukiele there. Mane or Anderson? I would say Anderson, even though he's got Liverpool. It's not really a bad fixture for Anderson. He's just basically guaranteed to get you Defcon, so Anderson. His floor is basically like 4 points every week. 5 when he gets the clean sheet. Sometimes he gets bonus. I'm kind of surprised I didn't get Anderson at any point. I think I would have done if I could have afforded him instead of Lefay, but Lefay was alright to be fair, especially for 4.9 mil. I wonder how much they price Anderson at next season. Like he's such a uninspiring pick, but he is really just consistent, and he's among the top scoring mids just because of those consistent 4 and 5 pointers. They do add up. But you just have to like be really patient with him, just be willing to play him every week and just take those trickle of 4 points. Yeah, I reckon like 6 mil. I think you're right. I'd still consider him for that next season. No worries, Tom. Craig says keen to Hill / anyone to start Mukiele or Tarkowski. I'd start Mukiele. Can you afford Anderson, or have you got him already, Craig? Keen to Anderson's nice. If you had Palmer, would you captain him? I would, yeah. I'd captain Palmer if I had him. You've got to. I know he scored a few pens, but on current form with Burnley home, the best possible fixture in my opinion, I would start him. If you haven't got Anderson, Craig, then keen to Anderson I like a lot. Otherwise, who else? Probably Hill was your next best bet, yeah. Yeah, I can't really think of many others. Like Cash is quite nice this week and next. He's back in training. But Anderson I think is probably the best. Leaks. I don't think we'll get any, but I'll have a look. Nah. Nope, nothing there. OBS studio disconnected. Hello, are we back? Are we live? I think we're alright. Internet dropped for a sec. I think we're back. My chat is still going, so we're good. Alright. Bench one out of Anderson, Anderson and Hill. I would bench Hill out of those. Start Senesi and Hill, or Ballard and Mukiele, or a combination. I don't know if I'd want to commit to double Sunderland. I think I like Ballard more than Mukiele this week in centre back as opposed to Mukiele right back. I'd go Ballard and Senesi. I think if I was picking out of those. Really, I mean, there's nothing in that, to be honest. Any thoughts on Tudor? Honestly, I don't know anything about him. I saw a tweet saying he'd been sacked at most clubs he'd managed at, but he's also had some success, so we'll see. Barov says, play Evan Nilsson, Senesi, or Anderson. You wrote NF Anderson, but spelled it the Fulham one. So, Evan Nilsson, Senesi, or Anderson. I've got to play Evan Nilsson against West Ham, really. He's the highest upside of the three, so I would say Evan Nilsson. I've not seen any Bournemouth predicted lineups. I'm guessing he's still in them, even though he's not done much as of late. Who do we have in the predicted lineups on the Focal app? Evan Nilsson with a 75 to 89% chance. Oh, I forgot to screenshot my team and post it. Let me do that. Completely forgot. Right, is there any super chats? I don't want to leave those unanswered. Lucidus says, GG Oscar, would you captain João Pedro over Haaland? I personally wouldn't, Lucidus. Even if I had João Pedro, I still think I'd be on Haaland captain. 60% rolling, 24% one transfer, 10% two, 6% 3+. And the final poll of the stream is a captain poll, which will go up in a sec. And the poll is up. Beraders, thanks for the 15 months. Alderrated versus Mukiele, start one, bench one. I'd probably just start Mukiele. He's been more consistent. Nothing in it, really. JK Salt says start 2 out of Concert, Hill, Anderson and Mukiele. I'd probably go Mukiele and Concert. Yeah, they're all very close. DK says, Focal, help please. Do I start Krupi over Mukiele? I'd start Mukiele. Wasn't Krupi benched last game? He probably starts this one, but I wouldn't start him personally. Gameweek 27. Gameweek 27, rolled the transfer, 17k. Good luck, everyone. Boom, tweeted. If anyone's not following me on Instagram or Twitter or Blue Sky, same username everywhere. Link below. Timber or Nico O'Reilly? I'd probably Nico, just about. I think the only change that Tom might have made is he started in die over Timber now, just because of the uncertainty on Timber, and he's on triple defense, so he's just hedging with double and die now. I think Timber probably starts, but it's just some people are speculating, so I guess that's why. If you're on triple defense and you've got a good bench player, I think it's okay to do that. Your mic is so much louder than the other creators. Is that good or a bad thing, or is it too loud? Am I too loud? You were number 1 years ago, 21-22 season. Long time ago. Got a screenshot somewhere. There it is. I've got it framed on the wall behind me. I guess you can't see it. But I got the screenshot. I didn't end up winning FPL, but I was number 1 for 2 weeks. I was top 2 for 10 weeks. But yeah, got it screenshot. Got it in a frame in my office. Bit sad, but to be fair, FPL is my full-time job, so why not? Why not screenshot it? Bobby says that's how I found you. I guess a lot of people stumbled on the channel from that rank run. What a time. Could be photoshopped. It could be. I got invited on the FPL show for the first time when I was rank 1, and I just got Teddy and I was working from home at my old place, and he always had to be on my lap, so I literally did the interview with Teddy on my lap. It'll still be somewhere on the FPL site, and I remember they were asking something about Teddy, and I was like, oh yeah, honestly, it's just been like the luckiest run. I just put treats down next to some names and he picks the players for me, and they were like, really? And I was like, nah, not really. But yeah, it was a super lucky run. Anyway, so yeah, I'm rolling this week. That is the team. Probably going to end up benching some points, unfortunately, but it is what it is. So the final captain poll: 61% Haaland, 16% Palmer, 6% Bruno, and 16% other. Before you all disappear, as you do when that deadline hits, don't forget to hit subscribe below if you've enjoyed the stream. Make sure you subscribe. And is there anyone live that we could raid? Let's have a quick look. Let's see. Maybe Dylan, or has he got it on members only? Oh, he's just finished. That's a shame. Who else?
Yeah, thanks again for joining. Don't forget to leave a like, hit that subscribe button.
They're all ending. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, Brev. What's this?
And then Saturday is it's a Friday.
Members only. No, we'll leave it there for this week. Hey, I hope you'll smash it this week. Yeah, Dylan just finished, unfortunately. Otherwise, we would have gone to Dylan. Ryan says, years ago, but we were here for it. Hashtag congrats. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, everyone, for a great stream. The gifted memberships, for tuning in as always. I hope you get a massive green arrow this week and it makes your weekend for you. Anything else to add? I think that's it. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with the transfer plans video. More content in this coming week. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the game week. That's it from me. Focal out.
De Bruyne's corner. Holland! Goal!